You have learned a lot of conversation topics that help you to get girls from a lot of pickup gurus. But you also know that it is not 100% guaranteed. And even though you have learned a lot of pickup tactics and game tactics, you still suffer from anxiety, panic, worries, and all of these mental health issues. Today, in this video, I am going to share you a conversation format that if you learn will actually help you completely get rid of all these fake confidence issues, help you get rid of your anxiety, worries and panic. It will also help you get girls more effectively. You do not have to depend upon luck if you truly understand this conversation format. The best thing about this conversation format is you do not have to do this in front of a girl. You just have to do this conversation format with yourself in the privacy of your own home. And that will help you become a more upgraded, attractive version of yourself with true confidence, who no longer suffers from anxiety, worries, and all of these terrible mental health issues. I learned about this conversation format when COVID happened and lockdown was going on in my country, Nepal. I was not allowed to go out and approach anyone, and that was when I was forced to stay with myself. And everybody knows that we are our own worst company. And when that happened, I started to suffer from anxiety, OCDs, panic, and all of those things. And then I discovered Neville Goddard, who said, your inner dialogue controls your external reality. And that was when I discovered that the conversation that takes place in my own mind is more important, is the most important conversation that I will ever have in my entire life. If I just know how to control the conversation that goes on inside of my own mind, I do not have to worry about what to say to a girl. Because my personal reality is an extension of my own mind. If I have good conversations in my mind, I will naturally have good conversations that will help me attract girls in my three-dimensional world. There are two different kind of world. You have to understand that. The first is inner world of conversation, inner world of mental imagery and feelings, and the outer world that you perceive through your five senses. And your outer world of five senses, this three-dimensional world, is a projection of your inner world. So if you learn how to make your inner world more positive, more empowering, more powerful, then as a spiritual law, as a divine law, your outer world will reflect that change. This is the reason why yogis have been calling our personal external world as Maya. Maya means illusion, a magical lie. Because they knew very well that whenever they upgraded their own mental conversation, their own mental dialogue through various meditative and spiritual practices, their external reality changed magically. So you do not have to learn all these openers and DHV stories and negs and SOIs and closing sequences in order to attract a girl. That is only going to make you worse in terms of true spiritual confidence. That is only going to make your mental health issues more. You're only going to obsess over stupid things. You're not going to be able to deal with your anxiety. So let's fix your inner conversation that takes place in your mind. And as a natural extension, you will just know what the right words to say to a girl. When you successfully write a new conversation piece in your mind, then your mind will compel you to just do the right action in front of a girl, to just utter the right words in front of a girl, to just do the right sequences in order to get that girl. Your mind is that powerful. Mind is the controller of the matter. So let's fix your mind. Let's fix the conversation that is taking place in your mind. And the first step of fixing the conversation that is taking place in your mind is through Yoga Nidra. People like Dr. Andrew Huberman call Yoga Nidra as non-sleep deep rest protocol. When you do Yoga Nidra, you're just guiding your attention through your body, body part by body part, until you achieve a state of sleepiness or a sense of relaxation. That is when your brain waves will start to become slow and coherent. When you're super anxious, worried, you're obsessed with a particular thing in your external three-dimensional world, your brain is producing high beta waves, which are not really healing. These brain waves actually damage your brain. But through the practice of Yoga Nidra, your brain will start to create these healing brain waves that soothes your body and mind. Now, when you do this Yoga Nidra practice, the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind gets wide open. Now you can write a new conversation piece, a new program in your mind, and that is going to get externalized into your external reality. So what you're going to do after you do Yoga Nidra is you start to visualize an imaginal act in your mind where you're already the person that you desire to be and you already have the things that you want to have. So, for example, you start to visualize yourself as a very confident person. How are you going to walk? How are you going to talk to girls? Can you visualize that girls are coming towards you and they're kissing you, they're smiling at you, they're throwing you all sorts of compliment. Oh my God, Mark, you're so powerful, you're so peaceful. Your friends and family in this imaginal act are complimenting you. They're saying, oh my God, how have you changed so fast as a person? Please tell us your secret. Now, if you provide enough sensory vividness to this imaginal act, meaning the things that you can see after you have become this upgraded version of yourself, things that you can hear, smell, taste, feel, and things that you can do, then your brain will start to believe that all of this wonderful imaginal act is actually happening to you in real time. Your brain is that objective. So your brain starts to get primed for you to have that wonderful experience. And if you are able to hold your attention on this imaginal act, where your life is wonderful, where you're receiving all sorts of wonderful compliments from girls and your friends and your family, and you're doing all the wonderful things that a confident person would do, and you mentally rehearse these things over and over again, you start to derive feelings from them, feelings that are equivalent to whatever you have imagined. So you have imagined that you are now an upgraded version of yourself. Of course, you're going to feel the equivalent emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, and thrill. The moment you start to feel these elevated emotions, every atom of your physical reality starts to respond to you in a different manner. Neville Goddard said, feeling is the secret of attracting the life that you desire. So whatever you have imagined gets externalized into your outward reality only when you embrace the emotions from this imagination. These feelings, these elevated emotions actually breathe life into whatever you have imagined. So this conversation where your girls are complimenting you, where your friends and family are complimenting you, where you're telling your friends and family, guys, I have become this amazing person, and you're just having the time of your life. This conversation will actually get externalized into your outward reality simply by mental rehearsal and feeling the emotions of this imaginal act. This is the only conversation topic that is required for you in order to get really good at game, in order to completely destroy your anxiety, panic, and worries. This is the way of developing true inner game. Outer game does not matter. Your three-dimensional reality is just an extension of your own mind. Your outer game is an extension of your inner game. If you have good inner game, outer game will just flow right out of you. So stop obsessing over outer game and start doing this practice. Now, if you want one-on-one personalized coaching from me, where I will hold your hand to success, help you build true spiritual confidence, and help you build a solid inner game, then message me on my Gmail or my WhatsApp, which are linked in the description box down below, and also the pinned comment section down below. subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.